Removes any immobilization effects and refreshes the cooldown of your intercept ability. That's a PvP ability. Fuck off. Die by the sword. Now this is interesting. Increase your parry chance by 100% for 4 seconds whenever you are brought to 20% health or less. This effect cannot occur more than once every 2 seconds. Now obviously if you put 2 points in it, it's going to increase it by 8 seconds. This is good for leveling. I used it for leveling. Saved my ass quite a few times. This is also good PvP ability, especially if you're getting ganked by a rogue and get you down to 20% and he's just going to get parried for 8 seconds and that's just going to piss him off. Well, warriors already piss rogues off in PvP, so yeah, that's just going to add to it. Furious attacks. Your auto attacks have a chance to reduce all healing done to their target by 10% for 10 seconds. Back in the PTR that was 20%, and it obviously got debuffed since then, is now 6 months later, so yeah, it got debuffed a little bit. Meat Cleaver. Dealing damage with Cleave or Whirlwind increases the damage of Cleave and Whirlwind by 10% for 10 seconds. This effect stacks up to 3 times. Yeah, this is good for lower HP mobs, like I'm talking about like 100k and like a shit ton of mobs. So this is good for like those kind of mobs. You're going to be wanting to use Cleave and Whirlwind pretty much all the goddamn time until those mobs are downed. It's good. It's pretty good. Intensify Rage reduces the cooldown of your Berserker Rage, Recklessness, and Death Wish abilities by 20%. It's good. So instead of Death Wish being a 3-minute cooldown, it'll go down to a 2.4. And it pretty much eliminates some downtime of you not being pissed. Pretty much. Okay, Blood Surge. Your Bloodthirst hits have a 30% chance of making your next slam instant, free, and deal 20% more damage for 10 seconds. Yeah, for 10 seconds. It doesn't increase the damage that you do for 10 seconds. Blood Surge will stay on the screen for 10 seconds. And here, let me show you what Blood Surge looks like. Let me get in there real quick. Alright, right off the bat, this is the Blood Surge proc, indicated by these two things, these two auras surrounding your character. And it pretty much gives you a free slam, which was what you saw right there. Free slams are good. So instead of slam sorry. Hold on, I got that buff on me real quick. So instead of slam being 1.35 second cast, normally it's 1.50, but I got some stuff on me that increases my attack speed. So instead of being 1.35 second cast time, it's a free, instant, and does 20% more damage. Good. Very good. Oh, wrong tab. There we go. Skirmisher. Reduces the cooldown of your intercept by 5 seconds and your heroic leap by 10 seconds. Another PvP ability. Titan's Grip. Holy shit. Titan's Grip is the main ability that anybody wants to go Fury. Allows you to equip two-handed axes, maces, and swords in one hand. In my personal opinion, they need to change that to allows you to equip two-handed weapons in both hands to make you look like a badass. Because that's what it does. Makes you look like a badass mofo. Look at that. Who doesn't want to be able to dual wield two-handed two-handers? That's awesome. Freaking awesome. Single-minded Fury. When you dual wield one-handed weapons, you deal 20% additional damage and slam hits with both weapons. So since Cataclysm got released, they obviously buffed this a lot. I believe it was 15% before, and now it's 20% now, and I believe these were at a lesser amount as well. So since the PTR, they buffed these quite a lot. So they'd see more two one-handed warriors running around more. So apparently it got buffed to the point where it pretty much equals Titan's Grip. So it's up. I can't show you Single-Minded Fury because I don't have two one-handers. So it's pretty much up to you. You can either do Titan's Grip, or single-minded fury. From what I've heard, they're now balanced out, so I think they do just about equal damage. Now, with the extra points that I have, I put in War Academy, increases the damage of Mortal Strike, Raging Blow, Devastate, Victory Rush, and Slam by 50%. It's good. More damage for Raging Blow, which is good. Field Dressing increases all damage received by 6% and the effectiveness of your self-healing abilities by an additional 20%. I don't know if this affects your bandages, but I have bandages with me just in case the healer decides to just say fuck me and pretty much stand there and let me die. It also helps in rage regeneration. Let's see how much it heals for real quick. So my enraged regeneration heals me for 57 per second, and that's a lot. So yeah, 52% health over 10 seconds. More than half your health. Deep Wounds, I have 2 points in them. Your critical strikes cause the opponent to bleed, dealing 32% of your melee weapon's average damage over 6 seconds. So, whenever you crit, you're going to get the bleed effect. So, that wasn't a very good crit. It's only bleeding for 465 damage. So, it's going to be dependent on pretty much what ability you use to crit with. And that crit, I got 873 per tick. So yeah, it's going to be dependent on how high your crit is. It's going to be dependent on the bleed damage, pretty much. Alright. Insight increases the critical strike chance of your heroic strike by 15% and gives your heroic strike criticals a 100% chance to cause the next heroic strike to also be a critical strike. These guaranteed criticals cannot be re-trigger the insight effect. So pretty much this means you use this and you get this. Your next heroic strike will be a critical strike. So you use it, bam, critical strike. And you can use insight again, or you can use heroic strike again. And it obviously doesn't proc back up for a while. So next heroic strike will be a critical strike. Use it. Use it again. Doesn't proc. So it's obviously going to be a while before you get that proc back up. But still, it's a critical strike. It's a critical heroic strike, which is good. Very good. Alright. So pretty much that concludes the warrior tree, except for the glyphs. Now for the glyphs, you're obviously going to want to take Glyph of Bloodthirst, which increases the damage of Bloodthirst by 10%. So that increased, so pretty much this is going to stack with everything that increased Bloodthirst damage by whatever amounts back in the talent tree, and that's going to stack with this. More high numbers. Increase the critical strike chance of Raging Blow by 5%. That's good. Increase the critical strike chance of Slam by 5%. Also good. Now my major glyphs, Glyph of Death Wish. Death Wish no longer increases damage taken. That's good too. Glyph of Piercing Howl, increase the radius by 50%, blah blah blah. Glyph of Cleaving, increase the number of targets your cleave hits by 1. That's good. Now, Glyph of Berserker Rage, it's a minor glyph. Berserker Rage generates 7 rage when used, which is good. So when you use this, you get more rage, rather than not getting any rage by using it, which is cool. More rage to play around with. And you're going to need as much rage as you can get for a Fury Spect Warrior. Glyph of Bloody Healing, increase the healing you receive from Bloodthirst by 40%. That also contributes into the 1100 that I heal myself for. And this increases the duration by 2 minutes and area of effect by 50% for my Battle Shout. So instead of it being 2 minutes, it lasts 4 minutes, which is good. Let me get this pally buff off me, yeah. Because I want this to be an honest, my own damage video. So the only thing I have on me is my Rampage, which decreases my critical strike chance by 5, and my Battle Shout. Alright, with that said, your rotation is going to be, you're either going to start off with Heroic Leap, or you're going to do your intercept ability. It's personally up to you, whichever you want to use, if you feel comfortable with your tank, I'd go ahead and use Heroic Leap. If not, I just use intercept on one target, which is good. I normally start Heroic Leap for boss fights and stuff. So anyway, with that said, for your starting rotation, you're gonna want to keep Battle Shout and Berserker's Rage on pretty much cooldown the entire time. Now, obviously, you're gonna have problems at the start of your when you're doing Fury. You're gonna have problems keeping an eye on Berserker's Rage and Battle Shout, because you know some people have trouble. Bleh, I can't talk tonight. Jesus Christ. Some people have problems multitasking, hitting, and trying to keep these on cooldown. So yeah, like I said, you're gonna want to keep these on cooldown. And like I said before, you're either gonna run in with Intercept or Heroic Fury. And with that said, your rotation is gonna be Bloodthirst, Heroic Strike, and I have a trinket called Mark of Cardios. Increases my mastery rating by 1425, which increases my enrage rate. Heroic Throw, pretty much doesn't cost any rage. It's free. You can use it as a distance, 1 minute cooldown. So your basic rotation, you're gonna want to do this. You're gonna want the Insight ability, so you can get the critical strike chance from that, the free critical, and you're also going to want the slam. So if you think about it, you're going to want to keep Bloodthirst on pretty much the global cooldown pretty much all the goddamn time, so that way you can get the slam proc ability. And if you remember, slam when you are in the Fury tree, when you get the proc, it's free, instant, it does 20% more damage. And with that, you want to use Colossus Smash. And I'm pretty sure all of you know what Colossus Smash does. All your attacks know the target's armor for 6 seconds. And it has a 20-second cooldown, so you're going to be using this quite frequently. So, with that said, your basic rotation is you're going to want to start off with Bloodthirst, Heroic Strike, Slam when it procs, Bloodthirst, Heroic Strike, Raging Blow, Slam, Heroic Strike, Bloodthirst, maybe Heroic Throw, Heroic Strike, Bloodthirst, Raging Blow, Berserker's Rage, Heroic Strike, my Trinket, Heroic Strike. It's pretty much just rinse and repeat. The training dummies are here in Stormwind. They're here in every freaking major city. You can just practice your rotation on them. So, Bloodthirst, Heroic Strike, Slam when it procs, Raging Blow, Colossus Smash to get rid of the armor, Berserker Rage on cooldown, and Battle Shout on cooldown. That's pretty much your basic rotation that I use. And it gets me, and I get pretty much top DPS almost all the time. Sometimes I get out DPS by the tank depending on what gear he has. Alright guys, that's me done for right now. I'll be back up with another video. Hopefully I'm going to have another guy here talking about the Fury, or not the Fury tree. I just talked about the Fury tree. The Prot tree, because he's leveled in it, pretty much level 0 to 85. He knows a lot more. He knows it a lot better than I do, so I'm not going to talk about a tree that I absolutely don't know shit about. So I hope to have that video up soon, and I'll see you next time.